Okay, these are the Skelton notes for the Onomastics project. It is due at the end of class on Thursday. So let's get started. So please hold your questions till the end of the presentation so we can get through this. I'm recording it right now. So if you ask a question, it'll be on the video. All right, so number one, you're going to open up Photoshop Creative Cloud 2015. That's Open Photoshop CC 2015. So you should all already know how to do that, but it's under Applications. You're going to locate Photoshop, and then you can open it right up. So it's right there. I already have it open. Here it is. Number two, go to File in the upper left-hand corner and select Open, or Commando is the keyboard shortcut. I love keyboard shortcuts, so I'm going to do Commando. And it's going to open up our Open As dialog box. Number three, once the open dialog box appears, locate your image and open it up. I have selected this beautiful image of a water drop right there from a previous project. Number four, once your image is open in Photoshop, hit Command-J to duplicate your image, or actually duplicate your layer would be the technical term. Up here you have your layers panel. It is on your background. I want to hit Command-J, and we're going to create a layer 1. I'm going to turn off this background layer. This background layer is my safe zone. It's my home. I can always go back there. If I really mess things up, I can just scrap everything and start over. But this is my untouched layer, and I can always go back to it. But I'll be working on layer 1 today. All right, number five, once your image should have been shot utilizing rule of thirds, or you can apply rule of thirds in post-production as long as it is in a high resolution image. So you're going to want to take this with a DSLR camera, or most of your cell phones are fine. I don't recommend you use your laptops for this project. They only shoot at 5 megapixels, which is really low resolution. You're going to want something with a little more beef to it. Okay. You also have to apply rule of thirds to your image, okay? Number 6. Next, using the crop tool, crop your image to a 4:6 aspect ratio. And this is really cool. So using the crop tool, we've used this before, it's right there. And if I hit enter once, it's going to give me my grid. You can go up here and change the type of grid that it has. So I've selected rule of thirds. And I'm going to place that water drop right there in the crosshairs. Now when I took the image, it was a little bit different. It was a different orientation, but so it was really close, but there it is. So up here, your values, 6 inches wide by 4 inches high, at resolution 300. You might want to write that resolution in there. That's very important. 6 by 4 by 300. Now I don't care what aspect ratio you keep it in. You can have it in a portrait orientation or a landscape orientation. You can choose, so depending on how you take your photo. So to switch those values, you have this double arrow right here. It'll switch it up for you. So if I really wanted to, and just for the sake of giggles, we'll do it for this project, I will do it in this orientation, just like that, okay? So now it's 4:6 by 300. Now even if you're a little bit off when you take the image with rule of thirds, you can tweak it in post-production just like I'm doing, okay? I'm going to hit enter to lock it in. Boom. I have rule of thirds ready to roll. All right. Number 7. Next, hit select from the tool options bar at the top of the screen and click on color range. So up here we have select from our tool options bar, and we are going to select color range. And over here we have a little preview of it. Number 8, utilizing the color picker tool, that's this little eyedropper here. Select a color from your image, then adjust the fuzziness to your liking. So let's go with a nice little, I like this orange. We're going to go with orange for this one. And I'll adjust the fuzziness, and I'm just going to kind of isolate it down to where I want this area, this kind of through here, and then a little bit down here is going to pick up some of the orange. And then I'm going to click OK. Number 9, once you have done that, click on OK, and your selected color is now selected in marching ants. So that these little guys are our marching ants in there. Number 10, your next move is to go to Select and click on the Inverse option. We did this in our last project. This should be easy. Go to Select, Inverse. So it's going to select everything but the orange that I selected. Number 11, now click on Command U as in unicorn under Command U, so Command U keyboard shortcut, we get the hue and saturation dialog box. And lower the saturation to -100. And all you got to do is move that saturation slider all the way to the left.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to click OK. Number 12, hit Command D as in dog. Command D to deselect your image. You should now have a black and white image with rule of thirds and selective coloring. So the only thing that's color within my image is the orange. It's in the globe here as well. Add a globe in the background there, and then a little bit in the water. Number 13, it's now time to add text. Choose the text tool from the toolbox. Toolbox is on the left-hand side here. And choose a font of your liking and put in your first name. So I'm giving you carte blanche here. You can do whatever you want with that, in regards to the font that you choose and the size. I'm going to go in here and let's see here. I'm going to type in my name. Here's the cool part is that it should already be in the color that you selected with your color dropper tool. I want this and this to match. Okay. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to change my font. So I'm going to highlight it here. I'm going to go to the top here where my fonts are. It's highlighted. And then using the up and down keys, I can just change it and see, find one that kind of looks cool to me. Let's see. Let's go with at the bottom. So I'll go right back to the top. Let's go with that one. I like that one. All right, and then I'm going to lock it in. Now using the move tool, I can actually move it around within my image. I obviously don't want to put it here. Why? You can't read it, right? So I'm going to put it somewhere that has kind of some contrasting color. So right here, we kind of got some nice black going on. And if I lower it a little bit, I can double up on what? Rule of thirds, right? Now this will be approximately in the crosshairs, and this will be in the crosshairs. If I really want to just double check it, I can hit the crop tool and just check it out. So I probably want to come up a little bit to the right. So I will do that. So I'm just going to put it right there. So now I've doubled up on rule of thirds. Boom. Okay. And you don't have to do that. That's just a preference thing. All right, the color of the text should now match whatever the selective coloring that you chose. Number 16. Now let's add a drop shadow to really make it pop. We added a drop shadow in what previous project? ISO project, correct. So just to walk you through that really fast. Number 17, on your text layer, double click to the right of your layer. So here's the text layer, and to the right of my name, we have this open space. You're going to double click there, and it's going to bring up the Layer Styles dialog box. Now click on actually where it says Drop Shadow and check the box. So right here we have Drop Shadow. I'm going to check the box, and if I actually click on the words that say Drop Shadow, it'll change my information here to Drop Shadow, and I can go in here and do some tweaking. And I have some very specific requirements I would like in here. All right, so number 18. Make sure that the blend mode is set to normal. So blend mode to normal. The opacity is set to 100%. So we're going to jack up the opacity right there. And then right here, we're going to adjust these distance, spread, and size. So we're going to adjust our distance to, lost my spot. Okay, back to 18. Make sure the blend mode is set to normal. The opacity is set to 100%. Lastly, choose either black or white from the color swatch options. Right here, we have our color swatch options. I'm going to choose white. Why would I want to choose white?
It's already black.
Yeah, because it's on top of a black area, right? So we want it to pop more. So I'm going to choose white so it contrasts a little more with that. All right. Pick whichever one will make your text pop. Number 19, set the distance to 8 pixels. So right here, 8 pixels. Oop. And if that happens, just double click right here. We'll bring it right back up. So 8 pixels for the distance. 9% for the spread. So 9%. And the size to 8 pixels. So 898 is what should be here. And then click OK. So now I have my name in there, and the colors match, has a nice little drop shadow on there, make it pop a little more. Number 20 is now time to save your image. 21, hit Command S. Command S. And brings up the Save As dialog box. Change the file name to Onomastics.
Plastic.
Your first and last initial, so JB. And the date. Remember not to have any spaces, backslash, or special characters, just numbers for this part. So it is 04/26/2016. Change the save as type to JPEG. So right here we have the format. We're going to change it to JPEG. This should be familiar for everyone. And then click on save. Next up, so it already exists. We're going to place it. Oh, no. So let's change that to 1.0. So that'll give me a different version of it. All right, hit save. When the JPEG option shows up, you want to change it to quality 12 and then click OK. You're going to turn your image into Google Classroom. For questions, please email jbyrne@hotmail.com.